Welcome to episode 7 of In Deep with Dan. This week's... Why do I always do that? I'll go this week's. This week's guest is Dan Reams. That's me. I'm by myself this week because today's episode is the first listener feedback episode. I've gotten some great comments and questions, and I want to honor those by not just giving a thumbs up on Facebook or a like on Twitter, but by addressing those comments here. As always, you can post questions or comments, either identified or anonymous, via the methods listed on the contact page of the website. If you have suggestions for interviews, ways to make the show better, problems you want me to solve, hit me up. That page is at indeepwithdan.com/contact-comment-page, or just go to the website indeepwithdan.com and click the comments button at the top of the page. But enough about you and what you're going to do. This show is about me and the show. And I'm glad you asked, because you did. I got some comments. I got some questions. So before we get into that, let's go into the traditional This Week in Dan. Haven't named it that. I don't want to. It sounds a little egotistical. But anyway, this past week was okay. I was over my previous week's bronchial infection mess, mostly by Tuesday, I guess it was. The rest of the week was uneventful. Yesterday, which was Saturday, my wife and I went out and bought a new bedroom set. Our last one was purchased in 1993, made of cardboard coated with lacquer or something. It's pretty dreadful. Me being me, I didn't really notice it was crap. But the bed exploded a few years ago, and we got a new decent replacement. But since that's a queen and we wanted a king, we always wanted a king, we're getting a new bed. We're getting a new set. I guess we have new bodies, new places to put them, I suppose. Oh yeah, and I bought my first bona fide actual gaming PC. Very exciting. I can now play a bunch of games from my Steam library that formerly I could only watch jerk around on the screen, and then play weird Max Headroom-like looping samples from the soundtrack of the game. So I actually bought it to help me more quickly and easily produce this show, but I'm not going to lie that being able to game on a laptop is not cool as hell. It is cool as hell. Let's see. Today's Sunday was about cleaning, dusting toilets. Not dusting toilets, which sounds like a drive-by action of some kind, but 2 words separated by periods. Dusting, period. Toilets, period. Floors. Yeah, cleaning. Then I watched the Packers lose to the Rams, but not by much. And it was good football, so it was fun. Then I came down here, which brings this intro to a close, I suppose, so let's go in deep. Okay, I think I'm just going to keep that whole intro the way it is. I'm not going to edit it. Nobody cares if I edit it. So let's keep going. Let's go deep. Here's the talk about the things. Our first listener feedback section. Okay, we're starting with Jess. Just minutes prior to sitting down to record this episode, I got a funny bit of feedback from my friend Jess, who said that Facebook was asking if my show's category should be physical therapist. That's funny stuff. Algorithms. She said, I'm tempted to say yes. I mean, it makes you laugh, and laughing is good for you, so it could classify as physical therapy, kind of. And then followed by a shrug emoji. That's one of the best things anyone's ever said to me, Jess. Thank you. I'm sure that people everywhere are getting up out of their beds, walking again after years of inactivity or some malady, and the sound of my healing voice and the healing voices of my guests is causing them great eureka moments. So very cool. Let's see, another one here from Mark, who says, quote, keep most episodes shorter with maybe monthly or quarterly longer ones, 1.5 to 2 hours. The longer ones can have multiple topics and segments, including chugging wine. I think that's great stuff, Mark. The fun of this medium, and this is how I replied to him on Facebook, the fun of this medium is we can play around with it like that at will. I'll definitely do something along those lines. It sounds like fun to have special episodes. So that's how I responded on Facebook. To go on with that a little bit, I like the idea of having special, longer episodes. The idea of chugging wine appeals to the traditional Wisconsin binge drinker in me. So with this weight loss thing, though, I might have to make a switch to vodka and Crystal Light instead of wine, but I suppose for a special episode, I could make an exception. Then Mark went on to say, quote, going hardcore history with length might be a bit ambitious. Hopefully 1.5 to 2 hours is the butter zone for the multiple topic / special episodes, end quote. I'm not sure what you meant, Mark, by hardcore history, although I can think of a few films that would merit discussions about length. This is a true see what I did there, Mark, moment for old time's sake. You know, back in the day, back in the mid-2010s, so, 2013, 2014, there was a lot of see what I did there in chat. Yeah, that was a see what I did there. Okay. Over-explained. Moving on. What my takeaway to that is 1.5 to 2 hours for the long episodes. Got it. And I agree. You know what? I'm going to take a swig of tea right now because I can, and this episode isn't that long. I believe I've hit the 5-minute, whoa, almost spilled on the keyboard, 5-minute point of it steeping. All right, and took the tea bag out. Grab a little tea. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now I'm doing all the things that nobody should ever do in a recording. Slurping, taking long breaks. Fantastic. Okay, you're along for the ride. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Back to Mark's point. Long episodes take a lot of production time, especially when multiple people are involved. So I am up for it, though. I love every aspect of putting on this show so far, so I don't mind going in deeper than the usual in deep depth if the payoff will be fun. So, yeah, sounds good. And now we turn to a more, I guess, a deeper, broader topic, which is a woman left a comment she would rather not have her name be associated with, and I respect that. So for the sake of this episode, let's call her Uhura, after my favorite Swahili navigator of the Starship Enterprise. So Uhura said, quote, you need to address the topic of if there are single men out there who are serious about finding good women and want to settle down. Most divorced men, are they damaged goods? Dogs? My friends, both men and women that are married, seem to tell me that they have divorced male friends but would never set me up with them because they are not good choices. Dating sites, ... Tried them, and I have found many that are dishonest, especially about their age, and show pictures of themselves from 5 to 10 years ago. Then, if they are 50 to 60, they want to date someone the age of their daughter. Ick. So, Dan, explain to me how a male brain works and when they actually grow up, and if any are left out there worth looking for. Most all my female friends tell me to stay single, that I have the best life possible, and I am so lucky already. I'm beginning to think they are right, but I want to hear Dan's side. And, wow, Uhura, let me have another swig of tea for that one. I'm still getting over my throat thing. I've got to tell you, Uhura, it's hard to respond to this one as I have no firsthand experience with it. I got together with my wife when I was 24 and she was 19. I felt like I had a ton of experience at the time, but that was 28 years ago, and that was different experience. Of course, Uhura, lack of life experience has rarely stopped me from rendering forth an opinion, so here goes. On the question of how does a male brain work and when do they actually grow up? That's a good question. I think I grew up when I hit 28, but now at 52, I just got all giddy because I finally bought my first true gamer PC, so I don't know if that means I've grown up, not grown up, or I'm a hybrid. In reality, it probably means there is no single concise description of what grown up is. One person's growing up might mean taking responsibility for one's own actions, for one's dependents' well-being. Another's definition might mean taking responsibility for another's well-being, being a good sugar daddy or something. Yet another's definition might be someone who has lost their sense of humor or perhaps found religion, or finally lost it, or fits some other ideal that, if one is picky, one may find it difficult to find someone else who meets all of one's expectations. I don't know. I'm not sure what you were looking for, Uhura, but I think your friends are not doing you a favor by shielding you from setting you up with those guys that they know. They should trust you to make the decisions. You'll know enough after the first date or two to know if there's something there or something potentially there. But in the meantime, live in the moment. Have some fun with them. Maybe it'll just be a fun date. Hey, maybe it won't be fun at all, but it'll be a fun story. There's that time I went out with that guy that Sally set me up with, and he was a dick, and here's the story. And that's some good stuff. You could come on the show and talk about it, by the way. That would be awesome. I'm not trying to dodge the question, Uhura. I just don't know all that many single guys in the age range of 50 to 60. If my wife were to leave me and I suddenly found myself single, I wouldn't want anyone the age of my college daughters, that's for sure. But I would tend to gravitate to someone my own age or roughly thereabouts. What others are into, I really can't say. I suppose if I didn't have kids, maybe I wouldn't be so freaked out about somebody a lot younger than me. But I am definitely biased thinking, like you do, that that's creepy. Stick to my side of the road. Stick to the right lane in the U.S. and other right lane countries. The few single guys I do know, my age or 10 years older, do not talk about their ideal next mate, so I can't speak to their thought processes. Now, were you and I to live in the same area of the country, I honestly couldn't even hook you up with someone and let you decide for yourself, because I can't think of a single guy I know between 50 and 60 who's single. Until this moment, I didn't even realize that. It's kind of weird. Oh, wait, I know why. It's not that I run in limited circles. It's that I run in almost no circles. That explains it. It's too bad you've had bad experiences on dating sites. This is opposite of the experiences friends of mine have had. Maybe keep trying. Maybe try different sites. I really think you should lean in on your contacts and friends. And if you have adult kids, ask them if their friends have single dads of good character. Those guys might also be struggling on how to get back out there. Perhaps you can strike before they otherwise figure it out. Kind of get them before they're listed on the MLS of dating sites. If someone who fits this category of a single woman who can not find what they consider to be a decent man, and you want to come on the show and talk about it with me, please do so. I and my other listeners would love to hear that conversation for sure. And Uhura, in the meantime, as you're looking around for someone on the sites or referrals from your friends, remember that Costco has very good prices on batteries. Good luck in your quest. All right, back to general comments. Listener Katie and licensed massage therapist Katie from the recent episode 6 commented, "So glad we got the sound figured out. I really enjoyed our chat." Well, me too, Katie. Podcasting is a learning curve. I'm glad I've worked through the technical stuff. I'm still learning, but that's a big part of the attraction for me with this show. Always learning, both from my guests, like you, and my equipment, like my equipment. All right, listener Rachel left a little bit longer comment. Quote, "Finally got a chance to listen to this episode." Unquote. She's talking about episode 4 with customer service manager Christy Reams and discussing weight loss. Okay. Anyway, resume quote. "Finally got a chance to listen to this episode. Loved hearing about Christy's and your journey. Appreciate her honesty, insight, and inspiration to keep in mind that it's a lifestyle, not a short-term fix. Taking the time for ourselves today which can be so very hard to do, is a good return on our investment when it comes to how we experience life 10, 20, 30 years from now. I've been struggling with motivation lately when it comes to diet and exercise, but reminders like this truly help me to get off my ass and make the next choice a healthy one. Great job, Christy Reams. I will have to check out those sexy ankles next time I see you. Smiley face. End quote. And oh yeah, those ankles. Right? You know what I'm talking about, you people. You ankle people. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, thank you, Rachel. Christy, is amazing. It will be interesting to see if I can keep on program through the winter. I think I can. We'll be emerging from a very busy schedule pretty much now here at the house, and we will have a bit more time for working out. So I've committed to myself to go this week. Christy's been going, and we'll see how it goes. I fully expect us to push each other. There's no greater resistance training than a marriage, methinks. Good Lord, I may have to tweet that. And I will, right after this episode drops. Maybe in the teaser for it on the Twitters. I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate the listen. All right, technical stuff. I have been asked to comment a few times on technical things for people. So why not? My friend Linda asked about streaming services and cutting the cord and about my suggestions for that. Maybe having somebody on to talk about that. I would love to, but I'm going to take a shot at it here myself because I am a cord cutter. Yeah. So I can stand up. Right now I'm in a room full of people. I am a cord cutter. So our current configuration is Hulu for live TV. We get all the local channels, plus a healthy portion of cable channels such as CNN, Bravo, Sci-Fi, although not AMC for some reason. I don't know why they don't carry them. Netflix and Amazon for additional content, with HBO coming through Hulu. All of these services are month to month. We supplement movies with Vudu or the Red Box down the street, which is a rarity, but it'll happen. We just watched that Amy Schumer movie, I Feel Pretty, the other night. Yeah, I forgot to mention that in the intro. Well, we did, and it was funny. But it was also poignant about self-image. And she took a lot of heat for that movie, and she should not have taken heat for that movie, I think, because it came from a good place. Basically, it came from the perspective that everybody has issues, and confidence is sexy. Yeah, I like the confidence. You like the confidence? You like confident people. If you like confident people, Uhura is the woman for you because she's a very confident person looking for a confident yet good man. But I digressed about the Redbox movie. Anyway, with the Hulu Live TV subscription, we also get the complete regular Hulu offerings, which are the current season shows released to them the day after they air, plus a ton of other shows and movies. Hulu offers a cloud DVR, but it has very limited space. Still, we really haven't run out of space, oddly enough, because we rarely watch a show the day it aired anyway, so we can watch it the next day via the standard non-live Hulu service, all within the same app. Like Netflix, it supports up to 5 family members getting their own profile, complete with their own favorite shows and DVR listing, which is great. To get that on all of our 3 TVs, we have Roku devices of various flavors on each TV. So we've got a Roku Premiere Plus, which is 4K on our main living room 4K TV. The supposedly better, but in reality inferior Roku Ultra 4K on our other 4K TV. And then our older Roku 3 on our 1080p TV in the bedroom. One of the TVs is a smart TV, but its apps are clunky and often will freeze up or otherwise be non-responsive. Plus, I'm not convinced they are being updated in a timely manner as, YouTube and Netflix and Amazon update their server sides. So I'll stick with add-on devices for the foreseeable future. I've had Rokus since they appeared on the scene many years ago, but I'm not opposed to getting a Google, Amazon, or other third-party device if they do the job. It's just, we've had Rokus. I've kept with them, been loyal. Again, though, the Ultra, not a good. Other services like YouTube, Vudu, and network-specific apps like the CW app, Crackle, and others all work great on Roku. We'll be switching back to YouTube TV for our TV when our Hulu billing period ends next month. The Hulu Roku app is atrocious on the Roku. Clunky, non-intuitive menus are coupled by major lip sync issues on the CW and Bravo shows. For whatever reason, those two, while like NBC or Fox or whatever are just perfect, so I don't know why. And the interwebs don't know why either. Roku and Hulu point fingers at each other about who's at fault, but there we sit in the middle watching what feels like a poorly dubbed show. So YouTube TV was amazing when we had it, and it includes the original YouTube Red content. Plus, it offers unlimited cloud DVR, which is amazing. Like Netflix and Hulu, each member, up to 6, I think, gets their own profile. So they get their own DVR, favorite shows, etc. Whichever one you choose, both Hulu and YouTube TV are in the $40 per month range, with each service having optional premium add-ons. For example, we currently get HBO via Hulu, and that membership enables HBO to work via the HBO Go app, which we also have on the Roku phones, tablets, whatever. Because HBO treats Hulu as being my provider, just like a cable or satellite company would be, then the various network apps work, like NBC, the CW, like I said, whatever. So that's cool. So that's about it. I want to keep this episode on the short side, so let's slam our way into the outro with a couple of closing messages. And that was our chat. And by chat, I mean my monologue with you. Like a coworker who visits your desk to make sure you just got their email, or a neighbor who just won't shut up when all you really want to do is get your mail and get back inside. But better than that, because you actually chose to listen to this show and you made it to the other side. You're at the end. Yay for you. Thanks again to you, my deeplies, for the comments and suggestions. Thanks for being on the show, even in your text forms. Remember to reach out to the show about being on the show in your vocal forms. That'd be swell. Join me next week for my talk with podcasting legend Joel Scherfinski as we talk about how he got into podcasting and what he's been up to these past 10 years in podcasting. So, until then, my deeplies, emerge into the light as you go about your week. And next Monday, go back in deep.